If you're tired of playing chemist with a manual espresso machine just to get a decent latte, but you're also done with the watery plastic-tasting mess of coffee pods, you need to see this. The Jura ENA 8 claims to be the one-touch holy grail, but is it actually cafe quality or just a really expensive kitchen ornament? Let's find out. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into something a little bit fancy, a little bit tech-heavy, and honestly a lot bit beautiful. We're looking at the Jura ENA 8. Now, if you followed the channel for a while, you know I'm a sucker for gear that actually works the way it's advertised. Jura has always been that luxury name in the coffee world, sort of like the Apple of espresso machines. And the ENA 8 is their answer for people who want high-end results but don't have a massive amount of counter space. I've been living with this machine for a while now, putting it through its paces, and testing everything from the touchscreen responsiveness to how it handles different milk textures at 7 o'clock a.m. when I'm barely awake. We're gonna look at the internal grinder tech, that famous pulse extraction process that everyone raves about, and whether the maintenance is actually as automatic as they say it is. No fluff, no gatekeeping, just my honest thoughts as a tech enthusiast and a coffee lover on whether this thing deserves a spot in your morning routine. Let's get into it. First things first, let's talk about the footprint because this is where the ENA 8 really wins for a lot of people. It's small, measuring just about 10.7 inches wide, which means it actually fits on a standard apartment counter without dominating the whole space. But even though it's compact, it feels incredibly premium. You've got these clean minimalist lines and that iconic cylindrical water tank on the side. It has this diamond pattern that catches the light, and honestly, it looks more like a piece of high-end lab equipment or art than a coffee maker. One thing I noticed right away is that while the casing is mostly high-grade plastic, it's got that signature Jura heft to it. It doesn't vibrate or rattle when the pump is at full blast, which is a huge plus if you're making coffee early in the morning and don't want the whole house to know about it. Now, let's get into the side of things, the interface. Jura swapped out the old physical buttons for a 2.8-inch color touchscreen, and it changes the whole vibe. It's incredibly intuitive. You're basically just swiping through a menu of 15 different specialties. What's cool here is the artificial intelligence aspect. The machine actually learns your habits. If you're a double-shot flat white person every morning at 8 a.m., the ENA 8 starts to recognize that and prioritizes those drinks on your home screen. It sounds like a gimmick, but after a week, not having to scroll through the menu for your usual is a small luxury that's hard to give up. The screen is crisp and responsive, though if you've got wet hands from the sink, you might have to tap twice, something to keep in mind for those busy morning workflows. Under the hood, this thing is packing the professional Aroma grinder, and this is where the tech nerds like us get excited. Jura claims this grinder gets about 12% more aroma out of the beans compared to previous versions because of how consistently it cuts the beans rather than crushing them. When you combine that with their pulse extraction process, or P.E.P, you get an espresso shot that has a deep, thick crema you usually only see in high-end cafes. P.E.P basically pulses the water through the grounds in short interval rather than a steady stream, which maximizes the flavor extraction. I've tested this with both light and dark roasts, and the clarity of flavor is honestly impressive for an automatic. It's fast, it's relatively quiet, and most importantly, it's consistent shot after shot. For the latte and cappuccino lovers, the ENA 8 uses what they call fine foam technology. This is a one-touch system, so you aren't standing there with a steam wand trying to find the right angle. You just connect the milk tube, hit the icon, and it handles the rest. The foam it produces is exceptionally light and airy. It's that microfoam texture that blends perfectly with the espresso rather than just sitting on top like a dry cloud. In this version, they've also improved the extra shot function for milk drinks. If you like a latte but want that extra kick of caffeine without it becoming a giant watery drink, this feature is a lifesaver. It grinds and brews a second shot separately so you get the strength without the bitterness. Let's get real for a second. The worst part of any coffee machine is the cleaning. Jura tries to make this as painless as possible with their intelligent water system. It uses RFID technology to talk to the water filter so the machine knows exactly when it needs a change and adjusts the descaling alerts based on your actual water hardness. And yes, it's compatible with the JOE app, meaning you can technically trigger a brew from your phone while you're still in bed. The milk system also has a dedicated one-touch cleaning cycle, which is non-negotiable for hygiene. Just keep in mind, because this is a compact machine, the water tank and the grounds container are on the smaller side. If you're a heavy coffee drinker, you'll be emptying those trays and refilling the diamond tank daily. It's the trade-off for having such a sleek, small footprint. Now, let's talk about the brain of this machine, because even our coffee makers are part of the ecosystem. The Jura ENA 8 features Wi-Fi Connect, which basically hooks the machine up to your home network so it can talk to the Jura JOE app on your phone or even your Apple Watch. I'll be honest, I usually roll my eyes at smart appliances, but this is actually functional. You can sit on your couch, open the app, and completely customize a drink, adjusting the coffee strength, the water volume, and even the milk foam temperature, then hit start without ever touching the machine screen. It even supports Siri shortcuts, so if you've got your cup ready from the night before, you can literally tell your phone to make an espresso while you're still finishing an email. But where the tech really shines isn't just in remote brewing, it's the maintenance monitoring. The app gives you a live cockpit view of the machine's health. It tells you exactly when the filter is at 10% or if the milk system needs a deep clean. If you're a data nerd, it even tracks statistics on how many lattes versus flat whites you've made. One huge tip though, the Wi-Fi Connect adapter is often an optional add-on depending on where you buy it, but if you're someone who wants that pro level of control and hates guessing when to desco, it's a total game changer for keeping this machine running like new. At the end of the day, the Jura ENA 8 is all about that sweet spot. It's for the person who values their time and their taste buds equally. It's not perfect, but in the world of super automatics, it's definitely leading the pack. If you have any questions about the setup or how it handles specific beans, drop a comment down below. I'm usually hanging out there for the first few hours after a video drops. If this helped you decide on your next caffeine upgrade, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the tech that actually makes life better. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.